The successful development of any country is mainly related to the effort it applies on research, as the studies, innovations, and inventions indicate and determine best practices to achieve economic and social development. This has been the trend with economic powerhouses that have prioritized research and experienced rapid economic growth, thereby improving the lives of their citizens. Zimbabwe has not lagged behind in this matter of national importance, hence the setting up of the Research Council of Zimbabwe that spearheads all national issues related to research. Executive Director Susan Muzite says there is no way a country can develop without research.
The Research Council of Zimbabwe was formed in 1984 by the then Prime Minister of Zimbabwe for the purposes of advising government on matters of research. The Research Act was then promulgated in 1986. It was promulgated as the Scientific and Technological Research Act, but was revised to become the Research Act in 1988 to broaden the scope such that research is covered in its totality, not just limited to scientific and technological research. Research in layman's terms is any systematic way of gathering information which can be known as knowledge. The stereotype of a person in a lab coat is developed based on what the so-called hard sciences, where we are talking about physics, chemistry, biology, or even medicine. But economics, history, archaeology, all those subjects have research components in them. So really we should move away from the stereotype image of research. Research is important in that it is for the generation of new knowledge, which knowledge is used to develop goods and services which are then traded, marketed for economic value for a country.
While the mandate of the Research Council of Zimbabwe is to promote, direct, supervise, and coordinate research, its major function is to advise government on research priorities. It also provides an exceptional forum for interaction and discussion for the mutual benefit of government, academia, industrialists, and other users of research results. All this is anchored on its vision of being the pivotal leader in guiding all research towards the sustainable development of Zimbabwe, reinforced by the mission whose aim is to provide leadership in research for national development.
I must say, advising government is very important and indeed is our first responsibility. We also have control and coordination of research, funding of research, and promotion of research, where the symposia fall in, of which the 10th in the series is our subject today. Our symposia are multifaceted. The first is for researchers to present their work to peers for the peer review. The second is for users of research results to see researchers in action so that they know the knowledge they have generated ahead of others for the purposes of generating goods and services, but also for the users of research results to see experts in action for when they require experts in their day-to-day businesses. Also, funders of research come to symposia to scan the environment to see where they can disperse their funds, how they can disperse their funds to the researchers in line with the national aspirations. Currently we have the national blueprint, Zimaset. We also have the national research priorities. So funders will be coming, those that wish to be relevant to national development for the purposes of scanning the environment from that perspective. Also, government policymakers come to symposia to identify gaps which can be assisted by policy. So as you can see, the symposium attracts a wide range of people. And also there is the international dimension to symposia. So international participants in all these categories I've mentioned also come to participate at our symposia.
The operational arms of the Research Council of Zimbabwe consist of the National Research Prioritization, Research Control and Coordination, Resource Mobilization, Research Promotion and Publicity, Foreign Researchers, and the Finance Administration and Human Resources Standing Committees.
The Research Council has established a national research database, which is a one-stop shop for all research conducted in Zimbabwe. So that is another way of publicizing research conducted in Zimbabwe. We also have the National Research Index, which is published every 2 years, which is a compendium in hard copy of research conducted in the country.
Mrs. Muzite said the emergence of ICT has improved research systems, but ICT itself is also a product of research.
The coming in of information and communication technology has changed the way research is done in this country for the better, because now it has reduced the time required to analyze data, even arguably to collect the data. You can use your computer as long as you are on the web to do a desk research and get access to documents from the globe, as it were. So really, that is in addition to doing certain analysis quickly on computers. So the ITs have revolutionized the way research is done. But I cannot resist the temptation of saying that ICTs themselves are also subject to research for their advancement.
The RCZ director said while it appreciates the support it is getting from the public sector, more players will enable the research institution to broaden its research scope.
It is known now that funding research is critical to socio-economic advancement. Not funding research is not an option. And I can say that in Zimbabwe currently, the Research Council is funded largely from Treasury, using funds allocated for the purpose by Parliament. But we are inviting the private sector to also come in and partner the public sector early, so that we reach this threshold level where the private sector now takes over the funding of research big time. I must add that the public funding never goes away, because it is important for giving directions, giving meaning to priorities, national aspirations, as in our case is encapsulated in Zimaset.
Mrs. Muzita said it is the same cooperation between the public and private sector that resulted in the successful hosting of the 10th Zimbabwe International Research Symposium held in Harare in February. The two-day international symposium saw hundreds of young and old scientists, academia, industrialists, top and lower level government officials, foreign scientists, and the public gathering in Harare to exhibit scientific innovations and share ideas for national development.
The 10th symposium was indeed very successful. It was held on the 12th and 13th of February. The first day comprised the presentations from the researchers, and the second day involved networking and the official opening. We also had the exhibitors on both of the days. I must say that on the first day the participation was about 700, and on the second day we had over 1,000 participants. We were honored with the presence of the Honorable Vice President Mnangagwa as the guest of honor in the company of Honorable Mpoko, the second Vice President, also Honorable Chinguri, the Minister of Higher and Tertiary Education, Science and Technology Development. We must say that with respect to funding, government provided about half of the funding required for the event. The other half came from the private sector cooperating partners. And we are very happy with this development that the private sector is coming on board to support the Research Council of Zimbabwe, and we hope for increased support going forward.
The main theme of the symposium was research for empowerment and socio-economic transformation in line with the Zimbabwe Agenda for Sustainable Socio-Economic Transformation, ZIM-ASSET. In his welcoming remarks, the RCZ Board Chairman, Dr. M.J. Tumbare, encouraged all bona fide researchers to complement the RCZ's effort, at the same time acknowledging that the majority of research papers presented at the symposium reflected the desire to come up with the solutions to pressing national socio-economic challenges.
Allow me, Honorable Vice President, to inform delegates to this symposium that in an effort facilitate collaboration between our local researchers and international researchers, the Research Council of Zimbabwe has put in place a system for taking stock of joint international research projects undertaken in the country. Foreign researchers are now required to have a local institution of affiliation. Our government departments, universities, research institutions, and the sectoral research councils are institutions of affiliation. And to that effect, a directory of institutions of affiliation has been developed. The registration of foreign researchers is also aimed at protecting national interests through ascertaining that the foreigners who come into the country for the purpose of conducting research are indeed bona fide researchers who will complement our national research agenda and efforts. We also strive to ensure the protection of human participants as well as the environment from potentially harmful research undertakings. I am pleased to inform you, Honorable Vice President, that Council is progressively building capacity to monitor the activities of foreign researchers. Let me acknowledge the support that the Research Council of Zimbabwe has received from government in the past years. The major highlight of this support is that since the last symposium held in 2013, the Research Council of Zimbabwe was able to acquire its own property in Mount Pleasant. We remain grateful to the government for this support as it gives us confidence to continue developing the national research agenda. Lastly, Honorable Vice President, I would like to take this opportunity to state that the Research Council of Zimbabwe has a large number of potentially beneficial research projects that await funding. These are studies shortlisted for funding from 2013 and 2014 responses to the Council's call for proposals. Let me take this opportunity to invite stakeholders in industry to come forward and partner the Research Council of Zimbabwe in financing these unfunded research projects. The Research Council of Zimbabwe is grateful to our sponsors. It is their support in cash and in kind that has indeed enabled us to successfully organize this 10th Zimbabwe International Research Symposium. I wish to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the universities, research institutions, and other organizations that were involved in the preparations of the 10th Zimbabwe International Research Symposium from the onset. Your dedication to duty and the level of commitment to the success of this important event is indeed appreciated by the Council. I also wish to thank all the presenters and reviewers for the world-class papers presented at this international symposium.
We are here gathered for the 10th Zimbabwe International Research Symposium which has brought together decision makers, researchers, and funders of research to network, exchange notes and ideas for the furtherance of knowledge. Knowledge is indeed the foundation for socio-economic development. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed honored by the presence of a very special guest in our midst who has taken his precious time to be with us today. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to invite our guest of honor to address us.
The government of Zimbabwe greatly values international collaboration in research. True to this principle, we are part at regional level to the SADC Protocol on Science, Technology and Innovation. The protocol seeks to foster cooperation among member states and promote the development, transfer and mastery of science, technology and innovation. In the spirit of this protocol, Zimbabwe has entered into bilateral science, technology and innovation cooperation agreements with a number of SADC member states, namely South Africa, Mozambique, Namibia and Zambia. The Zimbabwe International Research Symposium has grown over the years to be a hallmark of the government's quest for promoting research in Zimbabwe. In addition to providing a platform for researchers to communicate their research results with peers, the symposium is a point for interfacing between researchers and policy makers, as well as funders of research. It presents a platform for seasoned researchers to present their research findings, whilst being a place for young and upcoming researchers to learn from the experience of their seniors. Government remains committed to enhancing agricultural yields and is pursuing the restoration of our country's status as the breadbasket of